Okay, welcome back. Last time we made our way to Cypher's Shadow Pokemon Lab, and in between episodes I quickly ran back and healed because I took a beating at the end of that last episode. Pretty much, I got into a fight with someone and they had, I believe it was not an Auxiliary, I'm taking the EXP share off Auxiliary and putting it on Meganium. They had, I believe it was Electrode, Magneton, and Ampharos, and yeah, they did a lot of damage to me. Also, when I go back in, the alarm is going to still be going on because I haven't finished the area yet. It's a bit of an annoyance, but unfortunately it's something that we're just going to have to deal with. Fortunately, we will get a break from the alarm whenever we get into a battle, and I believe we have 2 or 3 before the boss. To be totally honest, I thought there was a save point and a healing thing in this area. As it turns out, that may actually only be in this game's sequel, XD Gale of Darkness, because you come back through here at a later time. But hey, we'll manage. And I also need to go and use those DNA samples for something. So, before I go and do anything else, let's go up here, because there is a person in this room who I assume I have to fight. What in the name of... How did you two avoid the eyes of our security staff? Good question. I mean, realistically, we haven't. Good question, researcher Dubik. Like, good question. Also, I feel like no one in this research facility seems particularly, well, alarmed, I guess? Like, we set off... Like, they set off the alarm to be like, hey, there's people who are in here who shouldn't be in here. And they do not seem like they're particularly bothered about that. Okay, Hyper Mode could come in super clutch right now, actually. Hyper Mode could be super handy, because a good crit can always change a fight. Okay, we get hit with Screech. We get hit with double Screech. To be totally honest, Sneasel is basically a glass cannon anyway, so putting it at -4 special... Sorry, putting it at -4 physical defense probably isn't going to do much to change... that's probably not going to change the fact that it's basically made of paper. It's basically made of wet paper, so I don't think that's going to make much difference. Crit, 10 out of 10, one shot to the Electrode, always a nice sign. And now Psybeam should comfortably finish off a second Electrode. So with that, we should be good to go, and Static comes through. That's an annoyance. Spark is a special move in this game, and honestly, that did nowhere near as much damage to Sneasel as I expected it to. Like, I know that Electrode isn't exactly the most powerful Pokemon in the world, but I expected that to do way more damage than it actually did. I'm glad that it didn't do all that much, don't get me wrong, but still. And Meganium goes up level 36, because I gave it the EXP share. We didn't duck from security, we walked all over them. I mean, yeah, that we did. Do whatever you want, it's too late now. We're finished with our research. What you're doing is futile. Futile? Also, if we look over there, we can see Ein just at his computer. So, yeah, we're going to be fighting Ein today. And he is going to be the final kind of Cypher admin before the end game. So let's quickly head on up this elevator, because we need these DNA samples for a little puzzle. I mean, I say a little puzzle, it's more so just remembering a thing. So, we use this DNA analyzer, and we get a DNA sample of Suicune, DNA sample of Suicune, Misdreavus, and what is this last one? This last one is Quilava. Okay, so I need to remember Misdreavus, Suicune, and Quilava. I don't know why I said it in that order, but hey, here we are. I also should probably use a Paralyze Heal on Sneasel, because realistically, I don't want to go into the next fight with Paralysis on it, because realistically, oh, that's going to be an annoyance. You know what, okay, we're going to risk it. We are risking it all. I mean, I say that like I'm playing a game where I have inherent risk. I'm not doing a nuzlocke or anything. There isn't any inherent risk here. Okay. Hi, I heard the alarm, so I came running. Okay, Cypher Peon Remel. 1, you don't seem very alarmed. And 2, I feel like when you come running to respond to like the alarm is going, intruder alert, I feel like just going hi isn't the regular response. Okay, so the Vibrava is the shadow Pokemon, meaning that if you want one, you can get a Shadow Flygon, not a Shadow Flygon, but you gain access to Flygon from here. Also, in between episodes, I went back and when I went back to go and heal, I went and bought a few more Pokeballs, because I'll probably need them. I do believe this is the final Shadow Pokemon before Iron, though. So we only have 2 more in this area. 1. Okay, that just broke out immediately. Not exactly ideal, but hey, that, you know, it is a dragon type, that can be pretty tough to catch. Psybeam will do very little damage. Okay, that actually did about a little over 20%, probably like... Yeah, that did about a 1/5. So I think we should be okay. Also, apologies if you just heard the creaking of my chair once again. Once again, chair old. Okay, Sneasel is still in hyper mode. I'm just going to go for Shadow Rush and hope I break through. Actually, no. Just in case Sneasel gets wiped out this turn, I'll use the call option just to kind of, you know, make it a bit more willing to go with me on this. You know, because helping to bring down that meter is always good, because I would like to purify it soon. Because it's also had a bit of time to just build up some of that at EXP as well. 2, 3, 10, we now have a Vibrava. And in comes a Swellow to replace it. And, okay, Sneasel gets called, and with that, it doesn't quite get its last move back yet, but we should be okay. Okay, I imagine this Swellow is probably going to go for either Fly or Wing Attack or something. So I'm going to switch Sneasel out to Ampharos, and I will set up Reflect. I'll set up Reflect because, honestly, whatchamacallit, Swellow hits pretty hard. Honestly, if it wasn't so insistent on targeting into, whatchamacallit, like, if it wasn't just targeting into Espeon, I'd be a bit more concerned about the Kadabra. But at the same time, the Kadabra is targeting into Espeon because Sneasel's part Dark and Psychic doesn't work on Dark types. So realistically, I can kind of just wall this right now. And by that I mean that's gonna go for another one. It's gonna go for another Psybeam. Not a Psy yeah, it's gonna go for a Psybeam, because I'm just gonna switch out to Umbreon. So that Kadabra is doing nothing of the sort this turn. Swellow is still probably gonna do a nice chunk of damage to something. Never mind, it targeted Ampharos. That's probably because it saw an easy kill on Sneasel. Okay, copied static using Trace, that was what it was called. Thunderbolt knocks out Swellow, and that is always good because the Swellow is by far the biggest threat this person is most likely to have. And their last Pokemon is a Kecleon. Okay, Kecleon's kind of cool. I do like Kecleon. And I'll just Thunderbolt it and then bite the Kadabra. We won't knock them both out this turn, but hey, we'll do a nice chunk of damage to both. Speaking of chunks of damage, that did quite a lot to Ampharos. So, Bite will do probably like 50 to 60%. Okay, that was closer to like, I don't know, like 60, like 2/3, 70%-ish. Thunderbolt did, honestly, surprisingly low damage. And that Kecleon has Dig. This Kecleon, I mean, in general, Kecleon seems like it's going to be a Pokemon that's just going to throw hands at me. I don't know why. Kecleon's a Pokemon that I think is better than it ever gets credit for. Like, I don't know. I think it might, maybe it just has really good special defense. And so I like Kecleon. I do wish its shiny was better though. Because Kecleon has, like, Kecleon's shiny is just like the red bit on its stomach turns blue. And that's always been so weird and out of place for me. Because it's like, why is that the shiny when there is a fully designed purple Kecleon that is right there? It turned up in the anime, it turned up, it's a shopkeeper in Mystery Dungeon. Why do they not just use that? That's never made any sense to me. Okay, Razor Leaf will hit for basically nothing. Actually, that did more damage than I expected, but still not a whole lot. And now it's Grass type. Aerial Ace comes in, probably on Meganium, does a decent chunk of damage. Wait, so this Kecleon has had Aerial Ace, it's had Dig. This Kecleon has had, honestly, a pretty solid moveset all around. Our Reflect wears off, but that's okay. And now I go for Body Slam and Secret Power, because they are two physical moves. And hopefully Umbreon doesn't outspeed it anymore. Okay, Meganium is going to get knocked out by this Kecleon. I should have remembered and maybe paid a little bit more attention on that. That isn't exactly ideal. But I'll just go out to Octillery now. Maybe I shouldn't, because I think... Wait. I think the never mind, it's going to be normal type even if it takes the hit. Okay, it's back to normal type now. I was concerned for a second thinking, oh wait, it's grass type, why did I do that? But now Bubble Beam should be enough to finish this thing off. And with that, this battle is over. Battle is over, but now I got to quickly play my favourite little minigame. You know, the minigame of run back and heal. Because, well, we have 2 or 3 fights left in this area, and I definitely want to heal before them. Because that is Skrub on the other side of that door, so I'm going to quickly run over and heal, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I quickly went back and healed, and now I also want to move Octillery back to the front of the party and give it the EXP share back. Okay, so I want to give the Miracle Seed back to Meganium as well. And hopefully Octillery will, because Octillery is starting to fall behind again, so I just want to quickly catch it back up as... Well, hopefully, you know, at least manage to catch it a bit back up. Okay, so... Now we release the lock on the door with the code of Misdreavus, Suicune, and Quilava. I don't think it matters which order you press those buttons in, but off we go. Not once, not twice, but 3 times we meet. Do you recall who I am? I shall avenge my humiliation of Relic Forest. Sorry, Skrub, but, as far as I'm aware, this is only the 2nd time we've encountered him. Actually, no, wait. No, wait, technically we did meet him on Mountain Battle, I think. I think he ran up to be able to kind of report back to Dakim. But we didn't, but we've only battled him for once until now. Okay, so, leading with Octillery turns out to have probably been a good play here. Because what I can do is Screech. I can Screech into the Wobbuffet. That'll lower its physical defense. And I imagine Graveler probably doesn't want to take a Bubble Beam. That is quad effective stab. And Octillery is definitely more offensive oriented than Meganium, so I imagine if that... So I don't know if Razor Leaf would have killed, but either way it's good to have that. Clamperl comes in next, okay. Clamperl is also not really going to be much of an issue, and I can just keep whittling away his team, I think. So what I'm going to do is probably just focus on just weakening the Wobbuffet. Like I'm gonna bring down the Wobbuffet to -6 and then attack it. Like, I'll bring the Wobbuffet down to -6 and whittle away the rest of his team. That's a combination of words I was looking for. Okay, so the Wobbuffet is basically a sitting duck, because since... Basically, if I'm not attacking it, it can't hurt me. And therefore, well, I see no real reason for me to attack it until I see... well, until I need to, I don't really see much reason to attack it. And there goes Clamperl. Very good, very good. He has 1 Pokemon left to come in, that being his Medicham. And now may be the time. Now may actually be the time for me to target the Wobbuffet. Actually, no. I'll switch out to N. Oh. Okay, yeah, now it's definitely time for me to target the Wobbuffet. I'm just going to target the Wobbuffet with Shadow Rush, because it's -4. I think it's -4. So that should do a lot of damage, if not knock it out. Because realistically, it has Shadow Attack, and this Medcham's just going to go for High Jump Kick anyway. So that's going to one-shot because it's quad effective. If that's quad effective stab, more than likely pure power boosted. Yeah, there was no way that Sneasel was taking that hit. I don't think there is a century. I don't think there is a world where Sneasel takes that. Unless I have Focus Sash, but I don't have Focus Sash. I mean, Focus Band could also probably work in its favor, but, you know, I don't have that either. Okay, Bubble Beam really knocked that thing back, even though it didn't do a whole lot. Counter! And there goes Meganium. Okay, I mean, realistically, that was going to happen to whatever I sent in. Okay, so, I guess Ampharos. I guess Ampharos is my next switch in. Why specifically Ampharos? I don't actually know. But I'll just double in. I'll just double in of a Medicham and get rid of that. Because, honestly, Pure Power is a bit of a concern. To be totally honest, if I had chosen to get Mist Reverse in this playthrough, if I had chosen to use Mist Reverse for this playthrough, this would suddenly be very different. Because it would basically just be a situation where I would be able to just go, okay, I see this fit. Like, I have Sneasel in. Oh no. Oh dear. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Endgame. I see how it is. I see your game plan. I can't believe this. Like, I know it's a Wobbuffet. Is it just gonna try to Destiny Bond itself to bring some? I think it's just gonna Destiny Bond until it can kill something. But I'm not about to let that happen. He is actually just spamming Destiny Bond. He is looking to take something with him. And while I could just take the bait, I'm not gonna bother. Because realistically, I just need to wait it out like 1 or 2 more turns. But he can't realistically do anything to stop me. Because he has no attacking moves. And that should be Destiny Bond number 5, Vesva Paralysis. So now I can just get rid of it. Be gone, demon, for I am familiar with your game. Okay, there goes the Wobbuffet. And, yeah, there it goes. To be totally honest, I'm gonna be real here. That Wobbuffet only got the 1 kill because... The Wobbuffet only got that 1 kill because you get the instant switch in this game. Not at the end of the turn. Okay. And I'm going to quickly run back and heal again, so I will just be a second. Okay, so I've quickly just gone back and healed, and now we can go and fight this boss. Cool. Let's quickly just open up this treasure chest, though. We found 1 HP up. That could come in super handy. So let's quickly just give whatchamacallit, Meganium that boost. And my general strategy for this boss fight is I'm just going to try to hit him as hard as I can straight away. So I'm going to lead with Sneasel and Ampharos on this. Is Sneasel the play? Probably not, so I'm not going to lead with it. I'm going to lead with 113, 80. Yeah, I'm going to lead with Espeon. I'm going to lead with Ampharos and Espeon and just kind of hit him as hard as I can, just right out of the gate, I think. It might not be the play in the end, but we'll see how it goes. Good. This disc has been scrubbed of all data. That's done it. Wah! How did you get in here without my notice? Ah, I see. So you must be the much talked about Wes. Little did I expect to see you in here. I'm Ian. I'm in charge of this Shadow Pokemon lab. No one must be allowed to interfere with our Shadow Pokemon plan. I won't allow it. Let me acquaint you with the power of my Shadow Pokemon. So this is Ian. He's the final Cypher admin. And his team is kind of annoying, to be totally honest. Okay, Lantern and Altaria. I'm suddenly wishing I led with Octillery. However, I might be able to work around this. I just need to get rid of that Lantern as fast as I can. So what I'm going to do is Cotton Spore the Lantern, because I have a feeling it has, whatchamacallit? Like, I have a sneaking suspicion that this Lantern has Volt Absorb. I know it'll have Volt Absorb or Water Absorb, but looking at the rest of his team, it would make way more sense for him to have Volt Absorb. Okay, so this Altaria goes for Pursuit. That's probably all it can really do to Espeon. And to credit where it's due, that actually did decent damage. And he also sets up the Rain. Rain Dance is going to be a huge problem in this fight if I don't deal with it fast. And I missed the Cotton Spore. What's the point in having it? Like, genuinely, what's Cotton Spore's accuracy? 85. Okay, you know what? Yeah, that explains everything. I should have just doubled into the Altaria. Okay, so I will paralyze the Altaria, I guess, and I'll Psybeam again. Honestly, I'm really hoping for a crit here. No, but the Lantern is down to half, so I should be, able to do something with it. But honestly, I don't know what else this Lantern carries, and that's kind of scary. But on the plus side, if I can, I will happily trade Espeon for Lantern in this scenario. That's bad. That's bad. Okay, Lantern just takes out Espeon. That's really bad for me. So, I will switch in Sneasel. I'll switch in Sneasel and go for Shadow Rush. Shadow Rush should do a lot of damage. Because, unfortunately for me, Lantern is a bulky water-type Pokemon. But if I can get rid of it, that is huge. Like, if I can just get that off the board, that is a huge thing to have. So I'll Thunderbolt the Altaria. Oh, I have Icy Wind. Icy Wind could actually be huge. I'm going to go for Icy Wind. Icy Wind is a guaranteed speed reduction. It'll do very little damage, even to the thing it's quad effective to in the Altaria. Like, even though its quad was... Like, that was quad effective damage. All damage. And that was with Stab, by the way. And why do I have a feeling I just targeted Ampharos? I need Ampharos, though. Okay, no, they blast Sneasel. Sneasel took that? Sneasel's special attack must be so much higher than I think it is. Sorry, special defense. Its special defense must be so much better than I think it is. And also, that Lantern is now at -1 speed, so we are now in a pretty nice position. So I'm just going to Shadow Rush. So Thunderbolt knocks out Altaria. That's good. That's good for me. Because now that is, what, 1 Pokemon down, or is that 2? I think that's just 1. Now, in comes Huntail, but the rain should end at the end of this turn. Sneasel can Shadow Rush, and nearly takes out the Lantern. So now, when I inevitably get thundered this turn, Sneasel goes down, completely unnecessary crit. That is overkill. That is overkill to a rather large degree. I can now send in Meganium, and Meganium should be able to kind of clean up on this. Rain is not done. I think there's 1 turn left of it. So I'm just going to Thunderbolt the Huntail and Razor Leaf. So regardless of what happens, one of his Pokemon probably goes down here. I believe in Ampharos' ability to one-shot a Huntail, because I'm pretty sure Huntail is the physically defensive one. Like, I think Huntail has good physical defense but weak special defense, and Gorbis has good special defense but weak physical defense. I might be mixing those two up, but we'll see how it goes. Okay, if Razor Leaf did that much from Meganium, I think Ampharos will one-shot. And in comes Golbat. Okay, so he has a Golbat, which will probably also go for Confusion, which is a little bit of an annoyance, but honestly, I'm not too worried right now. The rain stops, and since the rain now stops, I don't need to worry about Swift Swim. And as a result of that, I believe Ampharos should be the fastest Pokemon on the field. So I'm actually gonna Thunder Wave the Huntail. Actually, no. No, I'll risk it. I'm just gonna try to get rid of them. I'll just try to get rid of them, I think. Although Golbat going for Confuse Ray and just trying to confuse everything is definitely not helping me here. But I think I should be in a pretty solid position here. Unfortunately for me, I do still need to catch a Legendary once one of these Pokemon gets taken off the field. Okay, Thunderbolt lands, gets rid of the Huntail, and now in comes his final Pokemon. Which, obviously, we already know what it's going to be. Because Darkim had the legendary Entei, Venus had the legendary Suicune, and Ain has the legendary Raikou. And, yeah, this thing is going to be a bit of a pain, so getting rid of the Huntail was definitely a good idea, because I don't really want to have to deal with a Raikou potentially spamming Thunder in the rain. So I'm going to Thunder Wave it. I'm going to Thunder Wave it because this is still at the time where you could Thunder Wave an Electric type, which is very good for me in this case. because I can now hopefully get paralysis onto Raikou and make it a lot easier to catch. And most of my best defensive Pokemon are still up. However, I need this confusion to go away. Like, once this confusion goes away, I think I'm in the clear. And I'm gonna risk Synthesis. Thunder will probably just get rid of Meganium, though. Yeah, that'll definitely finish it off. Fortunately for me, I can heal. Realistically, maybe if I put... Actually, no, never mind. I was gonna say maybe if I put more time and effort in towards leveling Meganium, I would have learned Light Screen by now. But at the same time, I probably could have just bought a TM for Light Screen if I really needed it that much. Although, at the same time, I think I probably should. Maybe I should have bought the TM for Light Screen and taught it to Espeon over Helping Hand, because I haven't used Helping Hand, like, at all in this entire game so far. However, we now have Paralysis on the Raikou, and that's huge. So now, I'm just going to Thunderbolt the Golbat and throw a Pokeball. I'm just going to throw an Ultra Ball and see how it goes. I extremely doubt it's going to catch it, but hey, we will see how this goes. Okay, so 1. Yeah, that's about what I expected. Okay, Confuse Ray comes out again. That's going to confuse Umbreon. Fortunately for me, Ampharos is kind of getting through those confusion turns. It should snap out soon. There we go. Thunderbolt lands, and nearly one-shots Golbat. Falls a tiny bit short, though. And Thunder lands on Umbreon for a mountain of damage. So what I'm going to do is Thunderbolt the Golbat again. I'm going to Thunderbolt the Golbat again. It's probably going to go for Confuse Ray on Ampharos, and I'll just heal Umbreon. Because realistically, as much as I do have Octillery still just sat at the back of the party, yeah, I probably don't want that taking a Thunder from a Raikou. It's probably not surviving that. On the plus side, we can now get rid of his last Pokemon. And that was a completely unnecessary crit. Where was that last turn? Okay, so now it is just Raikou. We just need to catch the Raikou. Which obviously is, unfortunately, a lot harder than it would, unfortunately, catching a Raikou is a lot harder than I would like it to be. So, let's just kind of heal. I'm going to heal Umbreon. I'm going to do my best to keep Umbreon on the field. Because Umbreon will just eat Thunders. However, eventually this thing will run out of Thunders, and then, I also don't want it to be too low, because Shadow Rush will also be an issue, because I don't want this Raikou to knock itself out. Because that is also something I need to worry about in this game. But hey, we should be okay. I'm going to hit it with one more Thunderbolt. Like, I'm going to throw... Okay, yeah, that's what I'll do. I think it should be out of Thunders now. And also one more... Yeah, Lemonade this turn will bring Umbreon back to, like, full health. Well, it'll be one shot, but still close enough. So Umbreon gets healed again. I Thunderbolt one more time. And now I'm just going to start throwing Pokeballs at it. It's in the yellow. It's paralyzed. I feel like this is probably a prime position for me to start throwing Pokeballs at it. And if a few more turns pass and I don't get it, I might start using those timer balls. But yeah, this is the last legendary we have to catch in this game. Okay, so 1 immediately breaks out, okay. And yeah, what I'm going to do is I'll let 2 more turns pass, like I'll throw 2 more Pokeballs at this thing. I'll throw 2 more Pokeballs, and if I don't catch it within those 2, then I'll just speed up to when I eventually do. Because this could take a long time. Because realistically, I am trying to catch a Pokemon that has a catch rate of, I think it's 3. So, yeah, this could be a while. One thing I have also learned in this game is Lemonade is very, very helpful. Lemonade, Soda Pop, and Fresh Water, honestly, I will always prefer these over Super Potions. 2, 3, 10 out of 10, we caught the Raikou, fantastic. Delightful. This power, it defies belief. And we get 4,800 Pokédolls for that. That's 4 Ultra Balls, that makes up the loss, I think. Your struggle to get here was all in vain. The shadow Pokemon we produced must have already been moved elsewhere. And of course, And that, of course, includes the ultimate shadow Pokemon I created for the boss. And then he runs away like a big hero. So now we pick up the data ROM, that's kinda nice, and open up this, which is TM26. And honestly, that's just a bit cruel and unusual that you go and fight that you beat the place that is full of electric types, and then it's like, here's the TM for Earthquake, for your trouble. It's like, great, I would have loved that like 25 minutes ago. Or 45 minutes ago. Anyway, with that, we can now leave here because Ein is done. Like, we've beaten Ein, so we can finally leave this lab and get away from this awful, awful alarm. Honestly, the alarm has been, like, this alarm has been going for so long and the place hasn't exploded and no one's turned it off. Awful. However, we now get another email, which is... Lab data. Hi, this is Nat. If you find any data at the Shadow Pokemon Lab, please bring it to me in Beyonder. I'll be waiting. Okay, so that tells us where we need to go next. So let's quickly go and head on over there, talk to Nat, and then I'll end off this episode after that. Okay, so off we go to Beyonder. So this will bring us in back here. So we take this elevator down, it'll bring us to the Colosseum lobby. And then we can just take the UFO back across us, and then Nat's house is pretty much just we make a left. Well, actually, from where since we'd be coming off of it, we'd actually be making a right, but whatever. Okay, so let's quickly patch up our Pokemon and then be on our way. So I'm gonna go do that, learn about that, and then I'm gonna end off today's episode here. So we just hop off on there. Honestly, Rui, do you want to take a couple of steps forward there? She looks like she is stood way too close to the edge there. I don't want her falling off there. That would be bad. Hi, did you meet up with that silver guy? He was saying something about going to check out Realgum Tower. But where is this Realgum Tower anyway? Well, we'll be going there in the near future. But let's quickly see what they wanted. Does Meg have anything to say? Oh, did you go to the lab? Are both of you okay? I'm so glad. That's my hero. You're so inspiring. Oh, how'd it go? Did you find any data? So here's the data ROM. Oh, now this looks interesting. Let's scope it out right away. You know, just add his computer again. Oh, hey, this data ROM appears to contain a list of shadow Pokemon that have been made so far. Ah, but no, it looks like they wiped the data. Well, please leave this with me. I'll somehow try retrieving information from this data ROM, even if it means going over it little by little. As soon as I discover anything, I'll email you. Okay, so with that, we can now leave the Under and go and investigate Realgum Tower. And Realgum Tower is the final area of the game. Well, the final area of the main game. Obviously, there is some post-game stuff to do. I'm still a little bit 50-50 on if I'm gonna do it, so, yeah, I don't know. I still haven't decided on that yet. Either way, though, I definitely think I have to go and do a bit of training, because realistically, I think the fight with Ein should have been a lot easier than it was, and I think a large part of that is levels catching up with me. So I'm gonna save and end off today's episode here, and next time I will probably either do some training, because I do have some Colosseum stuff to do and things, or I might just progress with Realgum Tower. Well, I'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to end off today's episode here. As always, feel free to leave a comment and click any of the buttons down below if you feel so inclined, and I will hopefully see you all next time for more Pokemon Colosseum. Okay, thanks for watching. Later.